All right, folks, we're back, and let's talk about what's going on here. So, like we said, we got the finals match coming up, the very last thing that we could possibly cast today. It's been a pretty good cast, about 5 hours by the looks of it. It's not too shabby for a qualifier. Double elimination at that. We're going to get Terminator set up in a moment, though, and we're actually going to have him join the Skype call so we can hear our cast in real time and be muted and all that. So we may need a few minutes before we're actually ready to go. But the players aren't done vetoes yet. We still have a little bit of time to go. That being said, I don't know about predictions here, but who do you think versus who do you want to get through this one?
I like it to be balanced. So I want Super to get through.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Alive actually winning, but I would definitely like for Super to get through because I think more variety in the group already is going to be good. That being said, what's nice is, for those who don't know our format, 2 players will qualify through, but then we get to invite 2 people back. So we do get to balance things out a little bit on that. So if like all Terrans qualify through, we don't invite any Terrans,
Yeah.
What you giggling at there?
Oh, Nathanius.
Oh.
Oh, silly Billy.
What's he trying to do? I'm trying to scroll up in chat. I don't see it.
It's at the very bottom of chat, or almost close to the bottom of chat.
Oh. That's pretty good.
Ow.
There's a joke like that recently too on Reddit jokes, but can't repeat that on stream. Also, the guy with the kid responded saying that language is fine as long as his first sentence isn't Nerf adepts. Hashtag Protoss.
Ugh.
That's some good parenting logic, though. I like that. Your kid is like gonna hear swear words at some point, right? But he's not gonna learn bias and racism until you teach him. But okay, let me go get Terminator set up here. Get him added too.
Yeah, alrighty then.
Oh jeez.
Take your time there, jjakji.
Yeah, luckily we're not missing out on any time because, as we said, they're doing their vetoes and figuring out the map selection. But we got a couple more battle stations actually coming in, so let's go over these while we're waiting.
All right then.
This one comes in from Jacob Wacker. Oh, dude, your name. I'm so sorry. Looks like he's doing some audio. Oh, dude. Okay, real talk before I even talk about this picture setup, because I actually like your setup here. I really wish I knew how to do audio editing so badly. I see people who do like sound mixing and other things. Like, this is actually super cool for me because this is something I want to do. But I like his setup. It's like super chill. He's got like resting on his lap and everything. It says I'm making music but picture StarCraft, and you get the point. Yeah. I like it, man. I dig it. Looks cool. This is just Hard Revenge posting a picture of a cat, I guess. So whatever. Thanks for that. Warren Haskins throws in what looks to be like a flying saucer lamp. I don't know what that is, but are you drinking out of a jar, man? Can you what?
A mason jar.
Yeah. Do you have moonshine in there? Like, what's going on with this, dude?
It's a thing, That's one of the things I never understood.
This is a thing?
Like, well, yeah, you're talking about acai berries, right? And like that's a health thing. Recently, there's been like this really big trend on like Pinterest and shit, right? To put stuff in mason jars. He probably just has a mason jar and drinks out of it. I'm not saying he's like that, but yeah, people are like selling mason jars out the wild zoo and putting like salads in it, and I'm like, well, how the fuck do you eat the salad out of the mason jar?
I gotta call some bullshit on this picture, however, because it says my battle station and your stream on the monitor. But this is using not only the WCS, not even like, it's not that it's not using GameHeart. It's not even using the most recent WCS thing. It's using WCS 2.0, which is we've never done.
And it's got Deadwing.
And it's got Steel Series in the top right, which we've never been sponsored by. I gotta call shenanigans, man. I don't even believe this is your setup anymore. But yeah, it's Deadwing. This picture may have been taken. Like, I'll give it to you. Granted, this picture may have been taken months ago, but this is definitely not our stream, sir.
Maybe you were watching the stream in the laptop that's over there.
Ah, in which case you're fine.
Well, he's in
but then why are you watching a VOD from Deadwing at the same time? Like, I'm watching MLG 2015. Woo! Anyways, Zomgub's camera's about to go warped for a moment here as we add Terminator to the call. Wow, that makes some annoying beep sounds. Terminator was on cast with us recently, so I trust him not to be too annoying, but let's get the camera fixed for a bit. Hey, Terminator, you can talk for now, man. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
So, real quick, for those who don't know what's going on, Terminator gets like the real like first-hand experience here. He's going to be observing in-game with us, and he's going to be able to hear us casting in real time, so no stream delay. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I don't know, but this is a Patreon reward I've had that nobody else has ever claimed, so he's the first one. Say, hopefully you enjoy it.
I think it'll be entertaining.
Well, that being said, we are still waiting on the players to finish their vetoes. Actually, they're just finishing up as we speak, so there you go. jjakji going to echo for the first one. So you do Terminator. I love your face, man, and you've been on stream before, and I trust you. But I'll get you to mute your mic so you don't end up typing or anything loud on stream.
It's muted now.
All right. Thank you very much. And again, I hope you enjoy this. You're the first person. That's how special this is, I guess. But Galvarino just subbed to the stream. Thank you very much.
You can thank me for that one.
Oh, why did you bully somebody into subbing just now?
Yes. For part 2, saying that he repay people back, and I gave it to him, and then he tried to give it back, and I was like, oh, that's right. I think only subs can give part 2s. And then everyone was like, oh, subtle hint, and I was like, well, no, but
You just ran a scam on him, dude.
yeah, I did.
Penguin 320 bits says, I'm sorry for losing, Senpai Riff. Can I do better next time? Please don't get the belt. Well, dude, maybe if you had 25 bits instead of 20, I could understand. But if you weren't busy slacking up... Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm glad to see you showed up today, dude. I hope things went well. But best of luck in the North American qualifiers, I suppose. But all right, game number 1 is afoot. We got Terminator in the lobby. Good, cool. All right, then Echo. Going to be the showdown for the very last best of 3 today. You guys are watching the TING Open, TING qualifiers for Season 3. This is the WildCard Qualifier. We already have Gumiho, who's qualified through. One of these two will join him in this group. But of course, I must once again give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Please, if you're in the United States, consider checking out TING if you plan to visit the United States. Like if you're from Canada or any other place and you're coming to the United States for like a week, I guarantee you 1 week with Ting is going to cost you so much less than roaming will be. Plus, it's great on a month-to-month basis, quality, superb, etc. So go to bttv.ting.com to check it out. And a quick thank you to Joreem Stick for the Twitch Prime sub to kick off the start of this final cast. But ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 in the bottom right, we've got the blue Terran player, jjakji.
In the top left is the pink Protoss. He is super.
Now, Super lost to jjakji the first time around. It's why he's in the losers bracket. That being said, he just pulled out some dirty-ass Protoss tricks to beat Alive, and he beat him 2-0 to get here.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. It seems like jjakji has Super's tricks probably figured out. Because I gotta imagine if Super did like 2 all-in cheeses against Alive, that's what he's been doing against all the Terrans he's faced. I feel like it might just be one of these like, well, Protoss can't deal with mid-game, late-game Terran anyways, so let's just all in all the time. But I guess this third game might prove that theory. It goes for a macro game, then I guess that wasn't. That may have just been specific to Alive, but he does, then jjakji should already know how to deal with this and like expect it.
That's the other part of it too. Like, let's say he doesn't expect it. Let's say this is just totally blind and Super gets super gross, proxy stargates, etc. How much better is jjakji at reacting to that than Alive? Maybe it's not a problem for him because he's dealt with it for so long or so much more. I actually don't know.
They get a funny feral for the Twitch Prime sub.
Nice. Also, being the totally awesome at social media person I am, I squeezed out a tweet there last second. So do me a favor, guys. Retweet it if you got it. Make sure people come here for the last series today. But, of course, there are like 8 qualifiers in total. Lots of games to be had. Group stage, etc. If those who didn't see, by the way, we did change one thing for Season 3. The group stage is going to be best of 3s instead of best of 5s like it was in the past. A lot of people want to know why, but honestly, it's just for simplicity more than anything else. I would love to keep best of 5s, but the current patch of the game has made best of 5s too unpredictable and too frankly unviable for casting.
Right, yeah. Best of Fives worked out very well in the game. The games were actually ending faster, but I guess as most expansions go along, everything is about cheese and attacks and aggression and finding, early weaknesses. It gets settled as the game goes on, and games are back to a usual. It's like.
Oh wow.
Actually, I bet there's a way to tell what the average length is of Legacy of the Void game. Someone probably has that stat, but.
Well, my problem isn't the average, right? It's the fact that you've got games like Scarlet winning games in 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Then you've got games that drag on for 40 minutes. And in the past, like, it wasn't as dramatic, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, when Ultras came out, the Terran just lost. No, I'm just kidding.
You. All right, well, jjakji speeds across the map with the Reaper. He did go for a third command center, though, very quickly. Super has no idea about this, and if he did, I'm sure he'd immediately turn the dial up to all in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this is so surprising. I guess maybe Super really did just want Alive to be killed early and quickly.
He might still be heading that direction, though. I just realized this wasn't 1 or 2 stalkers. He's actually building quite a few, and if he wants to do a gigantic blink attack, it still might work out.
Well, it'd be so late though. Like it totally counts as only just now down.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. This is it's weird. Of course, again, Super has no information. He has no idea. Like, obviously, it'd be great if he could just simply walk across, but he hasn't even seen the natural. He doesn't know what jjakji's doing at all.
Super. Why didn't you just adept all in, please?
Well, now what I'm starting to think about more so is the first time they fought each other. Did he just lose a ton to drops? Maybe that's why this isn't like an aggressive stalker opening, but a defensive one.
That's a potential as well. Looks like an observer got scanned. Nicely done by jjakji. Again, if he had if his units were on the field, these 4 Marines would probably be dead. Like, they are oddly aggressive for such an early part of the game. After seeing that there were stalkers out too with the Reaper, but it takes out the observer and just goes back home. Now, Super is going to kind of match the economy. jjakji, a Terran player usually does not get away with a faster third command center. And then a Protoss player gets away with a fast third Nexus, but it happened here. At least Super is maybe aware of it, expecting it, judging it, taking a risk. It's a good risk. Whatever he's learned in the last series, it's a good risk that he takes here, taking the third base before Robotics Bay.
I like Terminator, by the way, turning out to not be a scumbag like some people I cast with, saying, I'm not going to bet because I can see the future. Whereas Zombie Grub, on the other hand, will see the game's already over and quickly squeeze in a maxed out bet.
I have never bet before the game is over.
I know, that's the point I'm
really
making.
Before the game is over.
I think you meant to say you haven't been betting after the game was over, right? Like, because otherwise you just agreed with what I said.
No, I've never bet before a game was over.
Right, so what I'm saying is the game will end early on stream and you'll bet to get the money, the payout. Because you know who won already.
Yeah, no, I'm still correct, though. I've never bet before the game was over.
So you're actually just saying, like, yeah, I'm a scumbag, yeah.
What? No.
Because that's what you were saying.
I've never bet before the game was over. I've never bet before the game was over.
I feel like you're not understanding what you're saying.
Am I not? Chat, help me out here.
Because I've
never bet before the game was over.
Right, so you only bet after the game is over. Only after you know the results. Are you serious right now? Are you not getting this?
Yeah, I might be spacing out a little bit.
Okay, well, that aside, moving on. I'm so adamant about this too. The Marine gets over here and he sees a lot of extra gateways coming down at the third. He sees this third too, which is kind of a not great thing to see, but back at home he's more than set to defend against stalkers. Will Super take damage from these drops? 2 of them come in. Overcharge is not nearby. Double forges are a huge tactical point to maybe pick off too.
These stalkers aren't enough. Colossus actually would be kind of in danger if there wasn't minerals to protect it, but
yeah, funny
there
enough,
are.
Minerals are the buffer to keep the units from stimming in. 2 probes and a pylon, not exactly amazing damage, but this was distracting, and this is where jjakji, I think, wanted to move into that third. Had he been able to stick around a little bit longer and distract a little bit more. Instead, now he's going to reconsolidate with all his troops and maybe just go for one big push.
Perhaps. He is ahead 20 army supply, and if Super has any units out of position whatsoever, that could be like a dead third base, or maybe just a lot of lost production of the gateways. Something pretty dramatic, but Most of his army, like, I think most of his army's in natural. It's not too far away. It's scary, but I think he has a couple of force fields. Okay, Josh is gonna leave.
Those force fields are actually doing a great amount of, like, it doesn't look like much, but early on when there's not a lot of upgrades, the Guardian Shield reduces so much damage. Take everything down by 2 is a significant cut to the barely 7 the Marines hit for in the first place.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing I'm curious
Star-
about. Do you know this? I don't actually know. Does Guardian Shield factor in armor before or after the damage reduction? Like, if you've Guardian Shield, but you've also got, say, 5 armor, would that
Right, yeah.
5 armor apply before the Guardian Shield takes down 2 or after?
What's the difference?
Well, if units had, like, a low threshold, it could be the difference of 1 damage versus 2. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Did we not just go over? I don't know numbers.
Okay, you know what? That's a great point. Never mind. Plus, our debacle a moment ago, I probably shouldn't just trust you with information, period.
Apparently.
Super reaches up for 4th, but this will be a mistake. It's going to get canceled. Nice catch out of jjakji.
Yeah, that was a easy peasy catch. Of course, Joshy's going to want to wait for his Vikings. He did invest in the second starport fairly early. They both really skyrocketed up to the mid game, and going into the late game here, upgrade's going to be ahead for Super, but Joshy might just have the better army, especially if he adds on Ghosts quickly enough, which he already has the Ghost Academy.
Yeah. 4 Vikings at a time, though, is really nice. I mean, this is that production stride you really want to hit. I don't know how big of a deal Ghosts will versus won't be, but it always, for me, comes down to the Vikings. Sometimes they get really great positioning and free hits, and cool, fantastic. But then sometimes they float over the Stalkers, and you might as well not have made any Vikings in the first place. Right now, because Super did open with Stalkers and continue to make them, he's got so many, these Vikings won't get the freebie hits that I think Joshy wants them to. Also, a lot of subs and resubs coming in. Big thank you, guys. We'll get you caught up after the game because there's quite a bit going on right now. Super's actually marching down the middle of the map with those Stalkers. If you can hit and run a couple of medevacs, hit and run maybe 1 or 2 of the Vikings, that'd be nice. Picks up the blink away, though. And Concussive Shell's going to catch a couple more Stalkers, so a little unfortunate for Super. You know, Stalkers are kind of early tier units, but they are very expensive in terms of things, so you don't want to give them away like that.
No, I mean, not usually. 1 or 2 is acceptable, especially if it's the only means of scouting and then bringing back. When you're at 4 bases of the bank, it's okay. But we finally have Templar Archives added on. Upgrades still going strong for Super, although they will be even should they actually engage. And I think Jokshi will be waiting for now probably Ghosts. And Super, well, Super just wants to take a defensive fight no matter what, probably. Jokshi's the one looking to actually engage.
Chat's reaction to your messed up dudes. EMP's lame, but they're not the greatest EMPs, but they do cover the Colossus, and that means that the Vikings can pounce. And they take them down like nobody's business. Jokshi now 123 supply, and Army doesn't care about the Immortals. He's just stimming in. That's Stutter to win, and Super can't fight. There's just nothing he can do here.
Yeah, 3 Ghosts actually ended up being enough to blanket most of that army, so that was a nice hit, though. It's talking about Jokshi just might have the better army with Vikings and Ghosts. And he certainly did. Yeah,
and he's landed the Vikings at this point. GG's get called. Jokshi will take game number 1. Not run away with the series yet, though. He's still got to win another one. This is a nice best of 3, not a best of 5 or anything extended. So we'll see where he goes. We're going to go to a small commercial break, just 2 minutes. So game number 2 when we return. Thank you guys for watching. All right, folks, welcome back. Thank you for watching that quick commercial break. Like I said, we got a ton of subs during that game, though. We got to get caught up on with some shoutouts. So while the game loads in, let's get that started. Well, actually, wait a sec. All right, we're going to have to load the page. So I'm not sure where we left off last time. But before we get into this game, big thank yous to Jareemstick for the brand new sub. Funny Feral, Gotta Love 69 hit us up with 24 months. Then Pwn You Good and Omniovoy, sub brand new. DJ Chris Spear hit us up with a 33-month resub. This is 33 months. Ting Open Season 3. Sounds like some sort of Illuminati shit. Well, there are 3 points to the Illuminati triangle, my friend. Think about it. Phoenix42 for the 13 months is lucky number 13. And then Feckbot resub for 5 months. And that should catch us up. So thank you all, the BaseTradeTV fans, for your continued support. But we are getting into match 2. This is the qualifying round, and only one of these 2 players can get through. In the top right, he's down a game. It's the pink Protoss Super.
In the bottom left is the blue Terran. He is jjakji.
All right. One thing I can say for certain about that game, though, is jjakji. Oh, boy, did he run away with it. That was a game where, to a point, it could have been like an even match. But the second he got a lead, I like that he didn't hesitate. He didn't pause. He just went with it. And fourth base knocked down. Army knocked down. Just kept pushing for that win and overwhelmed.
He did. Third CC gave him a boost, but Super kind of matched it into his own Colossus production. But I think Super either needed more Colossus, because the 2 that he had, or 3 that he had? I think he had 4. Anyways, they died very, very quickly. And then he wasn't quick enough to High Templars either. So, of course, if his High Templars were in the EMPs, it doesn't matter if he had High Templars or not. But usually you have a couple like thrown about so that they can come in during an emergency. And he just didn't have anything. It really was just all one clump of a Protoss army against a superior Terran army. So I wonder if that's going to send Super back to, you know, not his roots, but to what he did versus Alive. Just cheese jjakji out.
Well, he does, I think, Joshy scouts, but Super had sent this probe out, and for a moment I thought maybe it would be for a proxy, but realizing how mistimed that was, this Nexus at home, just a little bit safer. This guy's probably going to hide, and I imagine try and plant some pylons down. Joshy, aware that this could be a danger, decides to build a bunker, and I like this bunker a lot.
Yeah. I mean, the reason that Super went for a Super macro game last time might have been because Joshy did deflect his cheeses last time they played. I just figured it wouldn't work out. And Joshy is playing safe here after a very not safe game last time. Third CC and no bunker. So, this works out. Oh, I almost got that.
Yeah, the SCV building command center also gets a little bit rough. He hides inside the bunker. Yo, calm down, man. What a reaction. I don't know that he can necessarily stop this, though. That pylon's still going to get overcharged, but it won't have a lot of health. Both SCVs now chilling inside the bunker. Third one, get in there, boys! Yeah, this bunker's still going to get torn down.
It's enough health, yeah. If it's at maybe 2-3 health bars, then I think it's just worthwhile cutting down and everything's a-okay, but...
This is so unfortunate, too, because if the command center is done, turns into an orbital, you finally get those mules. He can't even lift to save it. It's going to get canceled, probably. The overcharge...
It might not have to be.
Oh, the
Actually,
overcharge
it's on top of the pylon, yeah, before the overcharge is done.
And he doesn't kill the reactor, which is huge. 2 more Marines are going to come out, which is going to be really nice, but the Cyclone, I think, alone will be more than enough. Mothership core going to go down.
Oh, that was worth it.
No, I don't think it was. Super getting a little bit desperate, really reaching for this. His attack now going to fall flat, but he is up 9 workers from this. The command center's still not done, so Super, he may have lost quite a bit, but he got ahead back at home.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard to say, actually. The Nexus is finished for Super, but it only just recently finished, and he transferred his probes down, and he is chronoing out double probe production, but we'll see what happens. Because the thing is, jjakji is going to eventually make up for it with the help of double mules, but then also his tech's going to be a little bit better. Medevacs always give you the potential to come back in any game, and he's going to have one, or at least one. Oh, so much for the mules.
You were saying? Well, the orbital will finish up, but be able to drop a new one at least. But there is an Oracle follow-up to this. It's not going to be proxy, so he'll have time to get units out and hopefully in position. The Cyclone takes out the Adept, and that Oracle... Well, looks like the Woodmine went off on the Adept at the front, but the Oracle's going to come in, and I don't think there's anything in the middle line.
Oh,
there's
no.
not.
Oh, Lord. Oh. Well, I thought Joshy could have come back from this game, and he's not taking more damage to the Oracle.
Well, this is still, like... No, I think it's definitely getting a little too far gone. I was going to say, like, there might be a way to make this work if the Widowmine actually kills the Oracle, but even if it does, there's actually Phoenix following this up, and this is such an annoying unit for Terran to have to deal with. Marines just don't have the damage really on. Not to mention there's 2 Stalkers, or sorry, 2 Zealots and a Stalker, 2 Oracles. I don't know that Joshy's going to win this game at all.
I don't think so. I don't think so. He was quite prepared against the defense, but then was unable to actually kill the pylon, and it really was, I think, more so to do with this Oracle. Because if the Widowmine doesn't go off on the Adept, it goes off on the Oracle, 2 Adepts don't do the same amount of damage. They just, you know, keep you from mining the natural, which is, I still think, acceptable losses.
Yeah. I mean, I liked towards the, like, you know, the Widowmine hit was solid, Cyclone killing the Oracles, great cleanup, but it's still him playing from really far behind. We have someone in chat, by the way, asking if there's a Patreon reward for Rifkin to sing a song. No, don't worry about that. I'm a cheap floozy. Just donate. Like, donate with some song lyrics. I got you.
There's one about you pole dancing as well. Do you want to do that?
Well,
I don't think Rifkin is fit enough to pole dance, and not like aesthetically. I think like actually like that shit is hard. Like you have to take classes.
well, I mean, do they want me to pole dance or pole dance well? There's the difference, right?
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like I can pole dance, but it'd be more like just me hoping that the pole can support my weight more than anything else.
Just imagine you doing the you know, you pick yourself up and you go around.
I'm gonna do that thing where I'm like holding onto it with one hand, leaning
It's
back
kinda
with
funny,
the other.
huh?
Yeah. GG's get called
game.
super. Ties it up 1-1. And of course, we are all rooting for Super just a little bit for some diversity's sake, but him or jjakji getting through would be fantastic. This will send us to the ace match, the final game, and you might be like, Rifkin, why would you choose now of all times to play a commercial? And that's because this is the last possible game today. So we've got you on the hook. Help us get 15 extra cents. We'll see you guys shortly. All right, folks, welcome back. We're in the lobby. Super just had to go to the toilets real quick. Or toilet. We're actually, do you pronounce? Let me ask you guys. This is a straw poll moment. Do you guys pronounce the T at the end of toilet, or is it silent? I'm not going to say whose side you'd be on by agreeing with this,
That's
but
not the side I was on.
I just said we're not going to say whose side we're on. Then you said,
I don't care. That wasn't the argument. Not at all.
Do you know what unbiased means by chance, or do you just swim in Terran so deep you don't even
You're just
care?
trying to make me sound even more foolish after this betting scandal that
more-
wasn't a betting scandal at all.
I'm trying to make you sound what? More foolish?
Foolish. More foolish.
Full-ish? Like you're not quite full, you could eat a little bit more, but you're full-ish? Like,
Oh, whatever.
all right,
That one
ladies.
is not that different.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's game number 3. Things are tied up 1-1, and that's an early probe leaving the base. In the bottom side of the map, playing for this last possible qualifying spot, we got the pink Protoss Super.
The top position as the blue Terran, he is jjakji. You continue on with this. I'm going to bring up civilization again.
I won't. I'm done. Sorry, ma'am. Thank you to Andite for the 24 months. It's 2 years of being on the channel. Nomish Lich hit us up for 22 months as well. He says minerals are OP. Please nerf. But then I also, speaking of dumb straw polls, I actually, as a joke, put up that Austria versus Germany thing we were discussing on stream
Yes,
the
I
other
saw
day.
that.
Man, did that come in with a lot of replies and a lot of very passionate people.
Yeah, I saw some of the responses.
Well, I would say most straw polls I run usually have about 200 to 300 votes in total. This thing had like 500 to 700.
And was it split?
No, it was like 95% to 5%. But the fact that there was any in the 5%, that's like 20 or 40 people that genuinely thought Austria was part of Germany.
I really think it's more than 95% people that knew that too. Because I know there's at least 10%, probably more, that looked it up.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. But thank you to Devin Wolf for the 1,000 bits. Says, Kappa 1,000. Don't have 15 cents. Will bits do? Absolutely. Thank you very much. Now, I thought this probe coming across the map might be for something a little bit more than just simply scouting. Maybe more than just putting a pylon down. But we don't have any proxy stargates by the gold. And it looks like Super's pretty content to take a natural. So he won't be getting down and dirty for this game. But I have to wonder, like, is that a smart thing? Because his best games versus Terran all day have been the ones where he's really gotten down in the mud.
I agree. Well, he still might do something. Like, he did the 2-base all-in a second game versus Alive. Or maybe not. We'll see. It's still yet to be determined. But thank you for the donation.
He linked a picture in it, which I'm not sure if you've clicked yet. I don't actually get the joke of the text, but this image is perfect for a reaction image. Like, can we get this image? Can someone tweet me this? I'm gonna put it on the screen for a second. This is phenomenal.
I'm not.
This is Zombie Girl, but such a like. This is more like for me. Are you fucking serious? Like,
Yeah, that's what it is for me too.
10,000
Maybe he
subs.
thinks I look old, or I don't know.
This is such a great picture, though, dude. If you could resend us this, please, with just the picture, I'd appreciate it. I will use this reaction image so many times. But it was Maroon Pyro who donated $5 to say, gotta take some selfies with my new Partoof coin in the Winter Wonderland, Switzerland. Thanks so much to both of you.
I wrote. Yeah. I have good mute faces, man.
You really do have good reaction. You had that one for Nation Wars because they're like shooting the guns at the screen. That was pretty nice.
Yeah. Pure Dragon took one from Kings of the North. I'm just staring at the.
Oh my god, I've got that one of you on my phone still from the airport like a million years ago.
There's the one from Hell It's About Time that matches perfectly with Olympia's.
Yeah. All right, well, getting back on track, we do have quite a few gateways coming down out of Super, and he is resonating glaives. So this is going to be a pretty dedicated attack. This worked earlier today versus Terran. Maybe it'll work again versus jjakji. I mean, it's one of those things where I think it's kind of easier said than done. You can't just make adepts and resonating glaives, but if jjakji's got well-placed Widow Mines, he scans to see all of this. By the way, good scan sees the extra gateways too.
Yeah.
So critical.
I would say that's a little bit more on Super. I think he definitely could have hid that better. That was a pretty basic scan, you know? But it is good for jjakji. He can now try and get some appropriate defenses. A Viking to help thwart the Warp Prism is definitely helpful. Unfortunately, you can't really put down bunkers everywhere. It's not as cost effective just getting more units. And he's a little bit supply blocked. There we go.
Oh, it pulls the probes away. It looks like he'll lose 3 total.
Okay. Well, he has to deal with this too. Last, oh, there's a German.
Looks like this Viking. Okay, so he catches this early, which is huge. Being able to push off this Warp Prism and kill it straight up, that stops the timing that this attack gives. That being said, Super doesn't have to over-dedicate to this. Like, okay, you built the extra gateways, but you can still throw down the third Nexus. Looks like he doesn't want to, though. And jjakji, it's very important that this SCV is here actually scouting that, because if he kills that Warp Prism and a third base goes down immediately, then he knows there's no attack coming. But there's still no third down. The SCV is fully aware of this, and now he's set up with tanks in the front, and he's ready for a drop to come in on either side of his base. That's why the Marines are positioned over here.
Like, technically, Super could expand, but he definitely has to have some sort of aggression, because if he did just expand and jjakji scouted it, then jjakji could maybe not push forward quite yet without stim, but he could start dropping everywhere, which is something that Super obviously would have trouble dealing with going for massive depths. So at least have a Warp Prism to scare.
I love this. He goes for like the extra level dick move, but this engineering base is actually a really smart move because he knew that once Super saw the tanks, he'd have to stop and he'd have to take a third. This buys maybe like what, 30, 40 seconds? There's already units on top of it, but this is so great. I like this.
Dark Shrine, all the way. Do it.
Dark Shrine can certainly get some work done if jjakji starts playing complacent, but I mean, there's turrets down already. Maybe the blink is going to be something really awesome. I don't know. I don't see the Dark Shrine getting much done, to be honest.
Right. Most Terrans have learned to predict this upon the Protoss's failure to all in, first of all. But then, second of all, it's coming at such a later time that you would ideally have maybe a third command center with an additional scan.
What are these 2 Marines, I think?
Oh, I thought they were foliage.
Yeah, those blue flowers that are really well known on Bonnie Research Station. Yeah, I could get that. That's an easy mistake to make.
Look, okay, you just prune your Marines a little bit.
The greatest camouflage of all time. Whoa, look at those flowers moving.
Why aren't Marines camouflaged? Like, at what point in time did, like, Terran or people think camouflage is no longer any good?
You know what would be cool, actually? Something that didn't let you stealth the unit, but like, if you were camouflaged with a unit, it would like not appear on the minimap or something. So you wouldn't see like a blob of blue Marines moving out unless you had your camera over it looking at them.
I'm not sure how the minimap would work, because the minimap would just be something like radar, right? Not radar.
What, the
satellite?
The football player?
Anyway.
Okay, this DT does not get anything done. Very unfortunate. But this is a cool idea. I don't think it'll be a practical move at all. It'll be imbalanced and blah, blah, blah. But the Adepts come in. Tanks are set up. Marines are here as well. That Warp Prism is going to bring in some... Wait, sentries?
Okay. Guardian Shield, I guess? But he's going to have to wait. Interesting. And Archons?
jjakji's got +1. He's gonna have stim, or he has stim. Excuse me. I think he just takes a better fight. This is almost like I feel too desperate. I Super focus fire on the sentries was amazing. No Guardian Shield, and Super gets wiped off the map. GG. That was like a snap win, like a snap decision win, I guess. But that was very well played. Very good defense out of jjakji. Great scouting. And again, that scan was money. That scan was what pretty much locked him in to win. So we'll see jjakji and Gumiho both coming back to the wildcard groups. I wish them both the luck, best of luck going forward. But group stage won't be for like a month and a half from now. We have got a lot of the qualifiers to get through. We had 2 subs come in during that game. Fox Horror for the 22 months, and then Empty Eyes. I think those are the eyes. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Definitely been subbed here before, but coming back is always appreciated.
Yeah.
But I think that pretty much wraps things up at this point, folks. This is, I just want to say, fucking awesome. Sorry my swearing and all that, but 4,300 people tuning in for the finals. We've had somewhat lower viewership number, and I was like, man, January sucks, but you guys have definitely given me some invigoration today. We don't have a public schedule because the website is still down. For those who don't know, like, Riamar was in an accident. We talked about this on stream before. He's getting better, and we'll have the website up sooner or later, but until then, you kind of have to just keep tuning in. The best way to find out what's going on is follow the channel and follow us on Twitter. We're always tweeting when we go live, when we got games coming up. Tomorrow, of course, will be the Corsair Cup, so looking forward to that. A little bit of the standard action we're used to for Europe. And everyone will hopefully be home from WESG to come play. But even if they aren't, we had some pretty good games with everyone having been gone last week as well. Big shots and thank you to Terminator. You still with us, dude?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so without spoiling anything that went on, let me ask you: was it worth tuning in this sort of finals cast? I don't actually know.
I liked it.
The behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, it was. You guys have funny conversations.
Yeah, he got to hear our muted commercial break conversation, so yeah, a little bit of extra. But how was in-game observing? Did you end up just using the camera, or did you end up doing your own observing?
I did a bit of both.
Cool. Well, hopefully it was worth it for you. Thank you so much for supporting Patreon and all that good stuff.
Yeah, glad to do it. Love StarCraft.
Good to hear, man. Well, we'll see you on the next cast. We're going to go to one last commercial break while we come back and say our goodbyes. One last shout out for the sponsor, guys, bttv.ting.com. I'll see you in 2 minutes. All right, folks, thanks for watching that last commercial break of the day. I pulled up our Google. So when we do our calendar stuff, normally before we put it up on the website, we've got like rough draft versions for things. So here's a peek at the rough draft version of what's coming up for those who don't know our schedule by now. Or maybe you're new to the channel. But here's all the StarCraft. We got, so first off, a lot of fucking StarCraft coming up. Fantastic. But as you can see, Zombie Grub is going to be leaving here for like the O Gaming Finals. This when all the IEM qualifiers come up. I'm just going to say in advance, there's like a very good chance we actually won't be casting any of these qualifiers. Normally in the past, we've tried to cast every IEM qualifier, but unfortunately, we can't, like, I'll scroll down. You can see we got everything still pretty busy. We don't really have a lot of extra room to move our qualifiers to, so we're still going to have to cast them, just not at the same time. So, like, for example, the TING qualifiers, the IEM qualifier, we can't have the EU ones on the same day and all that. So this whole chunk of time is going to get rearranged, but don't be too hopeful. I don't think we'll be casting these qualifiers. That being said, tomorrow we got the Corsair Cup, then the Elima League, then the TING qualifier, then the TING qualifier, the BTSL, and the Zombie Grub's gone for the Nation Wars finals, and I get 2 days off. Yay! Then we're back in action. So much StarCraft still coming up. You guys aren't going to miss any of it. Or hopefully you won't miss any of it. But do us a favor and follow the channel to make sure you don't. As we had said as well, tweeting is the best way. Probably to keep up to date with what we're doing. We always tweet whenever we go live. We always tweet about events we're going to be casting. So if it is something where Zombie Grub's not casting on BaseTradeTV and she's over in Nation Wars, following her Twitter is going to be the best way to follow that and follow her. But thank you guys for joining us for the qualifiers today. Zombie Grub, any shout outs or final things before we head off?
Follow me on Twitter at DGGaming and YouTube. Hey, Zombie Grub.
Are you going to be streaming any of your Fallout play, by the way? Because I think it would be hilarious.
Maybe.
Unless you're too self-conscious about dying to mole rats.
I might.
Of course, for me, Twitter is riff_kings, but just follow the channel, follow BaseTradeTV, all that good stuff. You guys should know the deal at this point. Don't know who we're going to go host, but we'll find somebody awesome. Once again, thank you to Ting for making all this possible. Make sure to check him out. And the last of last things is this will be an offline finals, guys. I think it's going to be so awesome and so cool when we finally get to do it. So, again, it should be, if not this, by the end of this week coming up, then next week for certain we can announce the venue. We've had several meetings with the folks about it. We've got everything pretty much finalized. I'm really excited to talk more about it. But until then, just know that it's in California and it'll be on the weekends of March. So take care, everybody, and goodbye.